All right, thanks for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the blueprint. The major story here says the EFCC recovers over 30 billion naira from ex-Accountant General of the Federation, Idris, secures 8,784 convictions in 7 years. Plans to auction 150 forfeited houses, says Commission working with INEC to stop vote buying. All the details on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. All right, we move now to the front page of the First News newspaper. Whooping heist. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from suspended Accountant General. Whooping heist. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from suspended Accountant General. All the details on the front page of the First News newspaper. We'll move now to the Nation newspaper, still talking about the EFCC. It says EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from Accountant General Idris. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from Accountant General Idris. All right, you find all the details in the front page, or on the front page of the Nation newspaper. To this Nigerian newspaper now, 100 billion naira fraud. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from suspended Accountant General of the Federation, secures 3,615 convictions to auction 150 forfeited houses, remits 136 billion to federal government's recovered funds account in 7 months. All the details on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. All right, to the front page of the Daily Times now. EFCC secures 3,615 convictions, recovers $121 million in 2022. Bauer says over $30 billion recovered from suspended, 30 billion naira rather, recovered from suspended Accountant General of the Federation. Mike.
All right. Mine here, let's start from the Nigerian News Direct. That's where we start from now. It says proceeds from fraud, EFCC recovery hits 134.3 billion naira, $121 million in 10 months. That's what the News Direct has in there. Still talking corruption. Now, Leadership Friday is the next one as Nigerians decide in 70 days, next president must tackle fuel subsidy, exchange rate crisis. El Rufai is saying this as the governor of Kaduna State. Okay, as Nigerians decide in 70 days, next president must tackle fuel subsidy, exchange rate crisis. All right. Okay, from there, let's go to Daily Trust. And the IPOB is the focus here. Food traders boycott Southeast as northerners flee. Prices of perishable items, other foodstuffs soar over blockade. We've lost at least 100 persons in 1 week. A group is saying this. Comply with stay-at-home order to avoid danger. All right. Hausa community leader is quoted as saying this. Umahi declares war on separatist leader, Ekpa. Okay. You find all this on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. Business Day is next. A Business Day says food, petrol drive inflation for 10th straight month. Food, petrol drive inflation for 10th straight month. All right, that's Business Day. The Punch newspaper is next, and it says banks run out of new naira, demand soars. The cashiers ration new notes, and lenders allot 100,000 naira per teller in banks. Okay, that's what the Punch newspaper here has in here. From there, let's go to Nature News. Nigeria lost 16.25 trillion naira to oil theft in 11 years. That's a report by Naiti. Okay. But certainly, it also says oil output to rise to 1.6 million barrels per day in the first quarter in 2023. That's the finance minister is saying that as oil production stood at 1.014 million barrels in October. All right, that's what we see on the front page of the Nature News. Right, Veronica?
All right, Mike, let's look at this story, which is on almost all the papers, the front page of the papers this morning, talking about the EFCC chairman's statements when he went for a ministerial briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team. And he said that between January and October of this year, they've been able to have about 3,615 convictions. And 50% of that conviction were cybercrime related, according to him. And then he said that so far they've been able to recover 30 billion naira from the 109 billion naira that was said to have been embezzled, so to speak, by the former Accountant General of the Federation. Yeah. And then he also went to say that they have been able to recover about some assets, and they've made about $121 million recovered as part of assets forfeited to the government. And he went on to say a lot of things, that they were going to probe some presidential campaign spending and all of it.
Well, it's quite interesting what EFCC is doing, and one would say that as much as Nigerians want more, you cannot say that EFCC is not working. EFCC is working really hard, and we must commend them for what they're doing. But however, if you look at all the recoveries that we're talking about, it's still just one little slice of the entire money.
A drop in the ocean.
Exactly, it's like a drop in the ocean. But anyway, it's good to even have something back in the first place. But what Nigerians are looking at the most is the issue of making the system foolproof in such a way that when the money leaves, you know that money has left. It's not when the money has left and we
then
don't know,
start tracing.
and then we start tracing.
Yeah.
Now, if the former Accountant General of the Federation was accused or alleged to have stolen over 100 billion naira, how did he do it and nobody knew? For a period of time, nobody knew that that kind of money was going down somewhere. So these are the issues. So Nigerians are more interested in trying to create a proof system where when monies leave the system, you know. This administration came in 2015 and they talked about TSA. In fact, the TSA made headlines for a very long time. And Nigerians thought that was the magic wand to the corruption in the system. But however, till today now we're saying, okay, is TSA still in place? Is it still working? And things like that.
Yeah.
What Nigerians understood from TSA that time was that government was going to have one account. And the moment any money goes in there are lineup of people, from the president to the accountant general to the auditor general to several minister of finance, CBN governor or whatever, whoever the people are,
will be alerted.
Will get the alerts that, that was the mind of Nigerians when they explained TSA. That was a simple way of the analogy that was registered in people's minds. So whenever money leaves, the president will know, the finance minister will know, and all the accountants, everybody. So all of them would have been monitoring the system to know, okay, monies are going this way or monies are coming that way. But as it is right now, it's obvious that
nobody is monitoring.
Nobody is monitoring the way it's supposed to be. Because if they are monitoring the way it's supposed to be, then
we should have known.
We should have known how this thing is. Now, if there is any official in fact, there is no reason why any official transaction should be done in cash. No official transaction should have been done in cash, so that you know that from the time of budgets, the moment you allocate monies to this ministry, monies to this contract, you monitor the system. Who is being paid and how much and at what time and for what? All of those things should have been there. So in a situation where government business is transacted in cash, then it tells you that there's trouble. So that's why a lot of Nigerians are now looking forward to what the CBN is. They are watching and waiting. Of course, it's going to be inconveniencing, but if it is going to work, then okay, maybe that's the window.
But how is it that it's just out of 109 billion, you're just getting about 30 billion we have just recovered 30 billion. How is it that it's taking so long to, really recoup everything?
Yeah.
Is it so difficult to trace or track? And, yes, we know people beat the system and all of it, but how is it that we cannot trace these monies and recover them as quickly as possible?
Yeah, that's what EFCC chairman was trying to explain earlier. Because sometimes this money it takes weeks, months, even years to trace what monies went for what and at what time and at what bank, and as the case may be. Now, like the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, they also have the capacity, they have what it takes to follow the money. So if they follow the money the way it's supposed to be, of course they should know. But the challenge usually is where monies are withdrawn in cash. Sometimes phone calls, from the reports we get, phone calls are made to bank managing directors or managers, where a vehicle is sent to go and withdraw monies.
Right.
So it could be challenging sometimes.
Right. Well, now that the CBN wants to deepen the cashless policy, I hope that it will not be a thing of just these people on this side talking about general Nigerians, that it also goes across to the government itself,
That's the
that
hope.
they are also participating in this whole process.
That's the hope. That's
All right.
the hope.